My goodness. Is that time? Has it been that many Sundays since we've gone live? And I've been slacking that much on you guys that I've been so busy working on the content during the week that I haven't been doing my morning coffee Sunday lives. I apologize if you've been looking for those. Make sure you say hello in the comments. You know what? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, happy whatever it is. You know what looks really good on me is a Christmas hat that was built for a teddy bear. So for you, my high level friend, my business friend, my YouTube subscriber, I went out to our stuffed animals and I was looking for a Christmas hat, just a plain old red and white Christmas hat I could find for you guys. And it turns out we don't have any that aren't already stitched to teddy bears or whatnot. So what I did is I grabbed the best thing I could, which was a hat like this off of, can you tell it? A teddy bear. So it can fit my giant ears through it. But considering the size of my head, literally and figuratively speaking, and the fact this was a tiny teddy bear, this is what you get. Okay? This is what you get. When you look at it straight on, it's better than nothing. And of course, it has my cool daughter's name right there. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday, December 22nd. What? December 22nd at 9:09 a.m. Is it Christmas already? Well, not quite Christmas. It's 3 days away, but still, man. Has anybody ever noticed this? And this is just something I'm just seeing every single day. Is the older I get, man, time is just flying by. I mean, it's simple stuff. Like I was sketching out what I wanted to do live. Like what was it? It's like a little bit after 9 Central. So at about 8:25, 8:30, I started sketching out what I wanted to talk about. And I didn't, I wasn't moving really fast. But I looked up and then it was like 8:45. And I was like, where did 15 minutes go? I've barely written anything down. So for those of you who have never watched before, I always like to make sure that you first timers are welcome. It's Patrick Allman here from Stop Doing Nothing Media, working from home today, as I often do. And what I like to do is on Sundays is every now and then do something like this where I just go live. It's basically like open office hours, and almost any business or personal topic is open. Mainly what we do here at Stop Doing Nothing Media is complete technical management of your marketing suite, meaning um, meaning that when it comes to lead generation or anything, lead generation, social media management, SEO, basically we do a good job of getting you attention on the internet. Okay. Everything around that. Okay. We have a platform, Stop Doing Nothing, or excuse me, we have our Playmakers platform. We have a Playmakers platform that we use on a regular basis, and we're high level CRM resellers. I have no problem telling you that, but we are really good at this product. We're a certified admin. There's not that many out there in the world compared to the size of the high level world. And if you're wondering even what high level is, if you just happen to randomly tune in on my YouTube channel, high level is a business. Excuse me. We'll call it Playmakers. Okay, my Playmakers platform is basically a business hub, okay? And it was invented. I haven't talked to the owners personally, but for me, I feel it was invented to try and consolidate all the different tools out there, that we have to use and sign into. And if you've been in business for more than 5 minutes, you know that sometimes all this digital marketing stuff we do is a little bit of a challenge, okay? Some of it's not fun, some of it's not easy. But what we try to do here at Stop Doing Nothing Media is make it so you don't have to worry about that stuff, okay? I want you as a business owner to wake up, to take a look at a couple of numbers. I want them to be certain colors, red or green, and for you to know the state of your business based on that, okay? You shouldn't have to worry about how well your keywords rank, or the technical setup from your phone number over to AI, or whether or not your website is SEO optimized, or what is even used to build your website, okay? My goal is to get business owners to focus on the most important things, okay? The most important KPIs, okay? And so these days when we build things for clients, it really is report-centric, dashboard-centric. It's just we computer nerds have hurt the business industry by making it way too technical to figure out just, how well you are doing in business. So I don't normally go on a rant like that, but that is my take today on what we do. On what we do, we just want to make business lives easier, okay? And we do it with a certain suite of tools that we have, that we've been playing with for years, that we know are really good tools. And so what we're going to do today is I'm going to either look for questions for the high level CRM that people have been asking recently, because I can pull those up from the Facebook group, or I'm going to walk through certain scenarios in my head recently of cool things I've seen, or I'm also going to kind of dabble into some of the new tech coming out, because if you've never watched this show before, what I do is I will do things live I've never even tried before. And for example, one of the things recently that we are doing really good in the high level community, if you will, is all this AI stuff. And you know what? It's new, it's messy, it's disorganized. But man, if you aren't the messy person, if you're the person who understands AI combined with your marketing experience, you can do some amazing things. So for example, one of the things I turned on recently, which you may be interested in, and if so, obviously reach out. We got a phone number on the bottom of on the lower third there. You can always text or even call what I'm about to show you. But we have done a really good job recently of implementing like a voice receptionist, a voice AI, which is really going to help a lot of small businesses. Okay, one of the challenges, one of the 16 million challenges you are going to have as a small business is just being able to be reachable, just being able to answer the basic questions when it comes to even answering the phone. Okay, and I'm going to walk through what we've come up with. Obviously, I didn't invent all this tech, but I'm the person who has to know it to teach you about it, and I'm the person who is using it myself. So we're going to do that as we do some screen sharing here. So if you've got any questions, or you're watching, if you're drinking a hot warm beverage, let me know in the comments. I'm going to make sure that everything is set up for you when it comes to screen sharing. So let me just rearrange some windows here. In the meanwhile, let me know in the comments, where you're from, where you're watching from. I know my buddy Keith, I believe you're in the Pacific Northwest area, right, dude? And I know different people tune in and watch live from various parts all over the world. We even got some international viewers. And by the way, this is really cool. If you haven't subscribed to us yet on YouTube, make sure you do so right now, because if you do, like, your name pops up on the screen automatically and a little chime comes up. It should be, I think the little YouTube subscriber notification box is over here. So if you haven't subscribed so yet, do so, and your name will pop up right here automatically. And if you want to, unsubscribe and resubscribe over and over and over. Let's make that bell ring. Okay, so let me be sure I've got all my windows in the right order for you to be able to see them. Man, let me tell you, when you have a giant curved monitor, if this isn't the largest curved monitor I purchased, it is going to be one of the largest for sure. So let's rearrange all this, and then I should be able to press a magical button for you right here. Did it work? Am I in screen share mode? Look at that. Did I do it? I did. Look at that. We are in screen share mode. I look a little bit more angled than I really should be, huh? Let's fix that a little bit. Everything is good. Rotation, blend mode, normal perspective. My perspective, what do we think? Is that too much? You know what? We'll go. See, that's centered. I wanted to be leaning in a little bit. So what about that right there? What about that? That one feels a little bit better. Okay, so what you're seeing in front of you right now is the high level CRM. And I got to make sure I don't look at the stream feed. I got to make sure I look at my actual screen. So what you're seeing here, we're going to talk about a little bit about the voice AI going on, and then we're going to talk about workflows, because workflows is an area where we're very strong. And then what I'm going to do also is I'm going to hop over here into the Facebook group where a lot of the QA happens. And the cool thing about the high level Facebook group is there's just so much you can learn there. And oftentimes I see, very basic questions I want to answer. But you know what? Things work better by example sometimes than just typing someone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through probably some new questions we can find there and make sure people know how to do things. So if you're someone who's watching and you want to know some of the basics of high level to get you up and running before you buy into one of our retainers and we do the work for you, let me know in the comments, and I will get this. I will kind of we will kind of jump into solving your workflow problems, your website problems, your tracking problems. We can do that live. And I usually do this for an hour or two. I like to say I do it until the coffee cup runs out, but to tell you the truth, the coffee cup is like 2/3 empty already because I'm a sipper. So first thing, um, first thing that I want to talk about, which is kind of really rocking my world, is this one right here. So this is our business number right here. Please make sure you write that down so you can text that if you have questions. But something that, I'm being a tech guy who's been at this since, I mean, we're talking like mid 80s, 86, 85. Yeah, I'm a pretty hardcore tech guy. And it takes a lot in the world of tech to impress me. And recently, some of the very recent, we're talking like the last couple of weeks of products that have been released in the world of AI are just amazing to me. I'm just blown away, just baffled. And this is one which I implemented recently, which I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked at how well things work. So this is my virtual receptionist. Okay, on that number 405-217-4752, I've gone through various ways of getting that handled. Okay, we've never seen the need here at Stop Doing Nothing Media to have a full-time person just answering the phones. Okay, that's just never been a high priority because we do so much electronic communication. However, phone calls and texting are still important, and so I'm always looking for ways to solutions that work for me, but as well as my clients who are businesses, small businesses, or can be small businesses like I am and I was at one point. And one of the things you can do is you can use technology and automation to make your small business seem like a much larger business, if you will, okay, or just you can make yourself seem a better business than you were. And one of the ways you do that is by making sure that somebody answers the phone. So you have two options when you call us right now, and I've been playing with them back and forth. One of them is I could pay a live person, either a part-time service or a full-time person, to answer my phones, or I can use this beautiful tech AI to get us there, okay? And I'm not talking very, very advanced, and I'm not talking about hiding behind the tech, okay? If you use tech in your business, like I'm going to show you, please be very transparent with it. If an AI is answering the phone, you know what? Use that and somehow make sure that's very clear, okay? I don't want to use tech to replace humans. I want to use tech to supplement humans, okay? So don't use this and pretend it's a human being. It's not. But on your screen, you're seeing my voice AI agent. And this is really cool. So I set all this up. I'm just making sure that I don't have anything here that you're not supposed to see. So what this is this answers my phone now. So this answers my phone. And the first thing it says is welcome down here at the bottom. Welcome to Stop Doing Nothing Media, your new digital marketing best friend. I'm your digital concierge, Lisa, named after my daughter. What are the three biggest marketing challenges you are having today? Okay. Some of this is my wording. Some of this is something I got from a gentleman named Cody Shearer, who's a buddy of mine. And if anyone's watching, make sure you tag Cody Shearer because I want to give him credit for this. But Cody Shearer, because I wasn't on the bleeding edge of this, I listened to somebody else's AI and I got ideas from mine. So this is, and by the way, I have not dug into this deeply yet. And that's the part to me which is really amazing because it's actually very functional, even though I haven't. Which Brian is that? Hey, Brian, thanks, dude. I'll tell you what my shirt says here in just a minute. But what I'm showing you is just the very basics of setup. And so I'm training myself, I'm training my staff on how to do this so we can start doing this for clients. So if you know somebody who needs basically a 24/7 receptionist to answer their phones and just take very basic inquiries, let me know. Okay, we can set this up for them. So what you do is you have the very basics here of how you're training your virtual receptionist. Okay, then you have a whole paragraph here, and this is where the magic of AI comes in. You have a whole paragraph here where basically you're teaching it what to say, what not to say, the attitude it's supposed to have, and all that. Okay, over here there's obviously some more settings. I have it basically, it's you can set it up so it's a backup to a human being, or it's the primary thing that happens once your phone rings. I set it as the primary thing. And then over here you've got some call logs, which are really cool. I've got people calling in and testing my voice AI. And once you get done with it, this is the really cool part, is number one, you can get a summary of the call, and then number two, you can get a transcript of the call. So what happens as me, the business owner, is I get this after Brian. That's right, Brian from Tulsa. That's right. Okay, I remember, dude. Sorry about that. It's just been a minute since I've seen the name, but I remember. And you get this transcription here about what the AI said versus what the person said. So you're not losing the conversation. You still have a copy of the conversation. But that's the very basic on the interface here. What you end up doing is you end up spending most of your time over here in this goal, in this prompts area, basically telling the AI in 2,000 words, because I have some space here, you can see here, 2,000 words, what you want to do, what automation you want to take place, during the call, what automation do you want to take place after the call down here. So there's all kinds of cool settings here, but the important thing is to know is that if you run a small business, this is basically a way to make sure your phone is manned 24/7, which is really important. Like I said, even for the basic questions. If you haven't realized it yet, we kind of live in a 24/7 world. You know what? This doesn't look cool now that I look at it in camera. We're gonna do. I have kind of a gritty here. Can we do like an offside thing? There we go. I'm from the In Living Color area, and I like the It's Raining Men look. Not that I'm one of those It's Raining Men guys, but here we go. Like Damon Wayans, right? Didn't Damon Wayans? You know what? It's not sticking. It's a small hat. Okay, and let's get the hole out of the way right here. There we go. Looks a little bit better here. So, oh, you know what? Really quick, Brian was asking, "What is my shirt?" You know what? Don't ever put a hat on and try to adjust it by looking in the camera. There we go. Goodness gracious. Oh, well, if it falls off, it falls off. So Brian was asking, what's on my shirt? Let me see. Which shirt do I have on? Patrick, so it has my phone number. Oh, this is a shortcut, and you can probably see it more on this sleeve right here. Is it on this sleeve down here? It is the sleeve. What this basically means, Brian, and thank you for asking. I forgot what shirt I was wearing. And see if I can do this backwards. Is this backwards? No. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to do this backwards while looking in the camera, okay? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So you know what I can do, Brian, my bro, my dude, my man, is, let me see, let's find the right switch. So let's go back to full video mode. And so what you see here, Brian, it says is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So that's basically my shortened abbreviation of a larger thing I have on the back of other shirts. Okay, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, meaning that there's two ways you can solve a problem. You can solve it by brute force, or you can solve it by being born and trained on absolute skill. A lot of things I'm not born and trained on absolute skill on, but I take action on them and I work hard and I solve them, as can you. And sometimes that is enough you need to kind of push your way through any challenges or any big problems in life, okay? Sometimes you have to work hard. Sometimes you're not natively born with it, okay? You just have to work a little bit harder. So that's what that means, is that people with talent, all the talent in the world doesn't matter if you don't use it, okay? I'm more of a hard work kind of person, and I get the talent later. That's what that means, Brian. So thank you for asking. One of many things that I live and die by. So getting back to the CRM here, what you have here is you have a voice AI which basically answers your phone now 24/7. And I'm not going to get into it too deep. My whole point is if you know somebody, a small business, someone who's going to start a small business, or someone who's up and coming, and they want to have a phone number, they want to text in and out, which is a huge communication channel for us, or they want to take phone calls, make phone calls, outbound phone calls for marketing and for sales, or they want to get inbound and outbound phone calls also. This is something to consider for them. It's not terribly, terribly expensive. Okay, I think the cost on this was I think it's like 50 cents a minute. I can't remember. It wasn't too terribly, terribly expensive. So this is something I'm playing with. If you ever want to test this out, do me a favor. Feel free to call Lisa. Actually, I should call her Samantha. That was her AI name. If you can see down here, this is one of the cooler features. Is you have all these different personalities that you can select here. And I tend to go for things that are a little bit more loud, a little bit more outrageous. So I think I went with the teen. Where was the teen I picked here? I just picked some teen. Ooh, Valley Girl. I was born and raised in San Fernando Valley. I could pick that one. That one worked just right for my attitude. Samantha, teen and focus. That's what I picked right there. So I may rotate these throughout the years, but you're given a lot. Precise diction. I like that one too. Goodness gracious, so many good choices and more coming. And it's going to be multilingual pretty soon also. But basically, you can pick a voice here and say, okay, that's here. Let me come down here to the lady who is precise diction. Maybe we'll see. It's Tanya. Yes, Tanya, thank you for that. Ooh, let's go with British and see what we get here. That may be an option. Let's see, what about Zoe here? Ooh, I like Zoe. Ooh, I like Zoe. I'm gonna have to come back and listen to that and play with that some more. I like Zoe because she's forceful there. But so you go through the basics of setting this up. We will be able to do outbound marketing pretty soon. You have to go through this prompting, and this is where I'm going to be spending most of my time, is figuring out the right prompts to get this through and what I wanted to do for follow up. Okay, so this is where I'm spending most of my time these days in setting this up. Availability, I have it answering 24/7, so I don't worry about working hours. And again, call log right here. So if that's something that seems interesting to you, let me know, and we can work on getting you set up. I would walk through it on a demo here, but we're actually in my live account, not my demo account. My demo account's in this other tab right here. So here's my demo account. We'll be walking through things today. So if you have any problems setting up pages, forms, funnels, you're looking for certain metrics, you want to talk about the dashboard, let me know as I work my way through questions, and I will answer them for you here. Okay. So let's get into it. Okay. Oh, first of all, if you're somebody who's watching High Level and you're brand new, um, this account, number one, this account is not as clean as my main account and not as organized as my main account. Okay. I'm only in here when I'm doing demos or speaking on stage or doing something live for the news, if I happen to get into something like this live for the news. But one of the things I learned from someone a while back, I wish I could be the originator of this idea, is the importance of organizing your data inside of any kind of tech system like this. So as you see here, I kind of have my automations organized. If I'm not mistaken, at some point in time, I was working on organizing my funnels in some kind of naming convention and organizing my websites the same way. I actually have a naming convention for this now, but the naming convention I use tends to be the two first letters of the object, like funnels, over my main account. So here I have one right here. So FU, I do first two letters of the object and then like a 4-digit number. So technically, this is one that I was working on with Charles Higgins. So technically, this one, in my opinion, should be um, FU, 4 numbers. Okay. So if you're somebody who is just getting into High Level, or you've been there for a while and things are disorganized, or you're a brand new agency owner, come up with a naming convention and early on, and make sure you start using it for any kind of tech work. Okay. In my particular case, I use the first two letters of the object, funnel, FU, and then a 4-digit number. And for the most part, you're going to find that I don't know if is that what it was. You're going to find that all throughout my accounts and all throughout my client accounts now. So I have a numbering system I've got documented over in ClickUp. And when I start working, when we are onboarding a new client, I slowly transition them to our naming convention here. Why this? That's a good question. Why this? Why does the name matter? Well, number one, if you work in tech for any period of time, you are going to have a lot of assets. So someday you're going to have a lot of pages, a lot of funnels, a lot of automations, okay? And you're going to want a way to quantifiably identify which one you're talking about. So did I get them all renamed correctly? Yeah, okay. And it's much easier when you want to reference a funnel. You can come here and say, oh, funnel 2000, funnel 4, funnel 1, funnel 30, versus, taking down the name of the funnel right there. So this is going to make it a lot easier. But what you're going to end up with a lot of inside this tool is you're going to end up with a lot of automations here. And what I did here is, number one, I started using folders. Use folders. Dang it, Brian, you got me, man. Maybe webinar will be WB. And see, Brian, I was waiting for my naming convention to fall apart, and you brought it up. Good point. I don't have any webinars yet inside of High Level, so webinars will probably be WB. But yeah, very good point. I knew it was going to have a conflict at some point in time, Brian. And you found it early on, brother. Thank you very much. But in the area of creating your High Level account, organizing your business, try to use folders as much as possible. So what you see here is I kind of have folders for the different parts of High Level over here. And then what I'm trying to do is inside the 2000 folder, everything should be, a 2000 name of some sort. Obviously, I don't have my naming convention all implemented here, but I know that I know that everything 2000 is going to be opportunity related. Not only that, what I do inside of High Level is, let me see, did I do it in this one? Add note. You know what? I'm going to find when I do it inside of High Level. And these are just things to get you organized. Just High Level, change names on menu options. Are you talking like, Okay, so here's something else I'm doing inside of. I'll answer your question in a second here, Brian. Here's something else I'm doing is I'm adding notes to contacts as people go through my marketing and my sales cycle. Is I add notes to contacts so I know what automation is doing what. So over my main account, for almost every contact, I've got a history here of every single thing they've done. So let me see if I can find one of my test contacts here to show you how this works. So over in my contacts, let's find this Harvey one, and let's see if I've got a lot of notes in here. Oh, so here's one right there. Example: contact created. That was an automation that's fired when a contact is created. But let me go see if I can find. Did I have one here for the Keith account? No, these are ones that are just contact createds. I'm gonna have to set up a new account with a lot more data in it, or start doing that event name. So to this Bob Nelson, did I have one here? Okay, here's an example of one right here. And again, all this, my naming convention is not implemented 100%, excuse me, but you can see here that, I can tell this last action here on the 7th at 1:20 p.m. that came out of automation 1010. Same here, automation 1010, automation 1010, things like that. Trigger link, I think I have some naming conventions there. But my whole point is if you do this early on in your Highlevel account, if you start, numbering things and giving things a standard convention, the same goes with your tagging also. If you don't have a tagging naming convention, for the love of all that's holy, please get a tagging naming convention. Tags get messy really, really fast in this world. So, but anyways, my whole point here is it makes it very easy to kind of classify the organization of my marketing here, as well as see, once I'm actually adding notes to contacts, what's coming from what there. So get organized early on. Brian, does Highlevel change names? Does Highlevel change names on menu items? So Brian, are you talking about over here on the left-hand side? Is that what you're referring to, I'm assuming? The naming of, so first of all, you come with a certain stock set of, stock set of menu options, if you will, okay? You have control over CSS on this page, so there's a couple of ways you can do things. Number one, if you want to add more menu options, like we have an AI built into all of our accounts now, if you want to add this AI to, if you want to add a menu option over here, you can on the left-hand side. So for example, when people sign into our account and they're using our AI to generate their social media posts or generate their content there, we added that menu option on the left-hand side. Same with this custom dashboard menu option here. This is one where we are building dashboards and reports for clients, and we're using a tool called Highlevel for this. We're doing these cool dashboards inside of our Highlevel account using agency analytics. Let me know if you ever want to do that. But I think you were just talking about across the top here. So Brian was saying yes or across the top. So to change all those, Brian, you either need to get an app, a Highlevel app. So yes, CSS, exactly, dude. So I've dabbled in the world of, back here in Highlevel, back here in settings, and I believe it's is it business profile right here, and there's a place down here where you can come add some CSS. Is it? It's gonna be right. Is it here? No, that's my signature. I believe it was. Is it business profile? And I missed it. Oh, you know what? It's at the agency level. I'd have to go into my agency account and put it there. But for example, I've used CSS to hide this, not the dashboard, but there's a launchpad menu option that's normally inside of a Highlevel account. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the launchpad option isn't here because I blocked it with CSS, Brian. So good question, dude. But yeah, you can change. I mean, everything is CSS. Okay, you can do. I've signed into some Highlevel accounts that I don't even recognize because they've changed the branding, they've changed the colors, and they've changed the order of the menu options and where things are, which makes it always fun when you send people to help files and you've recorded your help videos in a certain way and a client comes in and theirs looks completely different, or if you use any of the stock training, stock education kind of stuff, and it's different there. So I don't change these menu options too often because I've got people coming in from different places that are expecting things to be a certain way. And as much as I'm for branding and personalization and white labeling, I try to keep things pretty close to stock to make it easy to find. Um, Brian, Evan. Okay, these are the kind of good questions. So, Brian, if you have any more questions, let me know. I'm not a CSS expert, but I can get by. But for example, if you're interested in hiding that Launchpad option, I've got the CSS for that. And what I'm doing over in ClickUp, where I'm building a knowledge base, is whenever I see somebody post some kind of cool little bit of CSS, I copy it off of Facebook and I save it inside my own library because I'm assuming that if something's on Facebook, I'm never going to get to it again. Okay, let's see what else we have here because I love me some questions. Um, Let me see here. So Brian, hopefully that helps you out, dude. Evan, let's get to your question, man. I love me some questions. And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you click on the subscribe button and the notification button inside of YouTube. I'm shameless when I'm saying I'm doing my best to grow my YouTube channel. So anything, if you share this for me, that would be some social currency. If you subscribed, if you turn on notifications, if you emailed your list of 20,000 people and told them all to subscribe, I would be eternally grateful. So let me see, Brian. I got to turn off Brian's comment here, and let's bring up Evan's comment here. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. Any tips for helping clients with their service fulfillment and invoicing? So, Evan, are you referring to, first of all, let's go over here. Let's go over here where we can do this full screen. Nope, we're not doing there. We're going this one here. Let's do this one here. We got buttons we can press here. Here we go. Um, there we go. Patrick, any tips for helping clients with their service fulfillment and invoicing? Running into bumps trying to use a pipeline. So, Evan, okay, good. Ooh, good, good. This triggers. This triggers. This triggers me. Um, um, I am not a fan. Everyone has a different opinion on this. I am not a fan of using tools that using a hammer to do what a screwdriver should do. Okay, Evan? And this is my overall philosophy on this. And you're going to find a bunch of people who have different philosophies on this. I have never been a fan of using the pipeline to as a trouble ticket system or as a request system. Okay, um, it's just not the best tool for the job. And there are so many other tools out there, free ones even, that are much better for basically tracking client requests. So I'm assuming, Evan, I'm going to make some huge assumptions here. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. For helping clients with their service fulfillment invoicing. So I'm assuming that you have a service-based, um, 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 that you have a service-based. Hold on for a second. um, that you have a service-based business and like an agency or something else, or a plumber or a roofer or whatever, and they're getting requests in, and then you're having to fulfill those. Okay, roofing job, an estimate has to go out there. You have to provide insurance. You have to get the invoicing set up. All that. I really prefer, a project management or a ticketing system for that. You can make it work in Highlevel, but um, what do you mean when you're running into bumps? Let's talk about specifics, okay? We can't talk in generalizations. Evan, what do you mean specifically when you're saying you are running into bumps using a pipeline? Because let's see if we can solve whatever the bumps are, okay? So this is one of those areas where I have strong beliefs on it, but I'm also pretty flexible about it. So if you've decided to go that route, Evan, let me know. Ooh, gotta fix my hat here. Here we go. Um, if you want to stick on that route, let me know and we'll fix those problems. But it would not be my first choice on how to manage requests. You know what? Having a big head, literally and figuratively, gets you a lot of trouble. There we go. Who doesn't want some giant holes there? So what Evan's talking about here, I'm like pretty sure on this one. And let's go back to sharing my screen. Where's all the right buttons? I've got so many freaking buttons all over the place here. Let's go back to sharing my screen. I believe what Evan's talking about here. Oh, look at that, Patrick. You're just going to overlay text on text on text. Yes, custom installations that want to have strong communication about where the client project is in their production. So, Evan, let's talk about specifics, okay? Tell me specifically, or do you have one specifically, of how to, my goodness gracious, of how to, if you have any specific, goodness gracious, I'm sorry, I'm trying to, let's close that comment. Let's close that comment. So what Evan's trying to do here is down here in opportunities, you have pipelines you can manage, okay? Usually pipelines are designed for sales processes. And so you see my sales process here. That's what pipelines are defined for. However, if you are a service-based business, you can um, um, come up here and you can say, let's say roofing requests. Okay, and we're going to say, um, let's say initial estimate, um, figure out, I'm just going to make up some stuff here. Figure out staffing, supply, where, maybe after this is the supply delivery, because you got to get the shingles and everything to the house, right? So supply delivery. We'll say that maybe they're working on the roof removal. Maybe they have to. What's the plywood? Maybe they're doing a plywood install, because that's the basis of a roof, right? And then at a stage, roofing install. They're thinking for pipeline stages. They call, consult, book visit, invoice, down payment, site visit completed, final payment. Oh, we're thinking for pipe. Okay, so we're doing this for sales work. Book, site visit. Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, okay. You know what? I take that back. Okay, let's go back and talk about this. So we're thinking new lead, call, consult, book, site visit, invoice. Okay, let me take a look at you. Okay, I'm sorry, Evan. So your pipeline you're talking about is not too much different than the sample pipeline I use here. Okay, so a new lead. Let's do this. So your when your stage is new lead, call, consult, book, site visit, invoice, down payment. So the way I do it, Evan, and you may have to adapt your process, or I may have to adapt mine, is I'm kind of curious what the cumbersome part is, because I've worked on opportunity management a lot, okay, for my clients. And number one, almost everything starts, obviously, everything is going to start over here when the new prospect comes in. And then what we do, and hopefully this will give you some ideas here. But again, Evan, I want to know your specific issues, like where are they getting tripped up? Because this is a very wide net, and I don't want to waste your time. The way I do this is, number one is I make it so as much of this is automated as possible. Okay, so when you come into this column, I have an automation. Here's one of the things I do for every single client. Okay, and this is why they pay us the big bucks. Is number one is I build out this pipeline for them, and number two, I automate as much as possible. So what happens in my world is every time you drag something from one to another, an automation happens. Tagging, notes, invoicing, estimates, all that stuff as much as possible takes place. And then what happens is some of these stages are for when the prospect does something. So my real pipeline, I always like this because I can modify this real time. So my real pipeline, let's come over here. Let's drag some of these out of the way. Okay, let's drag some of these over into the new business. So I don't, only because I'm getting ready to change this and I don't want to lose these test contacts, okay? And by the way, if you're pretty excited about my $50,000 clients, this is all test data. I can put whatever I want to in test data. So let's come over here to our main pipeline and let's set it up how I would normally set it up. So this one was for event management. So let's get rid of those real quick. I love having a test account. I can screw it up. So send contract, pending contract, send order form, payment pending, send, for terminology, send payment form pending contract. So the way I do this, and again, Revan, I want to see, this is helpful. Okay, good, dude. Good. Okay, so the way I do this in my main account, and the default way I set up for my clients, because I got plenty of places where I have to set this up, is from me. Oh, you know what? This is something else I did. Let's make sure this mirrors the real world scenario. And everything I'm setting up comes from years, if not decades, of how sales processes have worked for me. Okay, let's move this one up to here. Okay. So this gives me enough data to tell me where people are in the sales process, okay? And this, by the way, this mirrors my real-time sales process. If you were to text me right now, you're going to go through this process. If you're going to fill out a website form for this, you're going to go through this exact same process. So it's the same process for everybody without Obviously, everyone has some exceptions, but here we go. So everyone ends up in the initial interest column. What happens is an initial interest is I push people to set up an appointment, okay, whether it's a real world appointment or a remote or like a Zoom call, okay. I've got a whole form and everything you fill out. So in my world, I've got if you go to sdn1./talk. By the way, I bought a short domain name. The name almost doesn't matter. That's much prettier for text messages and much prettier for short links. So if you reach out to me one way or another, we're in an elevator, we're doing various things, and you say, hey, I need your help. I got a new prospect the other day. I got a new aviation prospect the other day. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked about it. I send them here because this is the very beginning of the conversation, okay? The very beginning of the conversation is me gathering your information, okay? And you're going to be tempted to, when you get leads different ways, is to shortcut these. And as much as possible, please try to force everybody through the exact same process. It just makes it so everything becomes so much predictable. And that's one of the reasons I really like automations, is it just makes my business processes predictable. And everybody just wants a predictable life and a predictable business. So they have to fill this out, 30-minute call. I basically require a bunch of information from them. 2 of them, by the way, are decision maker questions, and they got money questions. Okay, I am not embarrassed or ashamed to ask somebody if they have money to work with me. Okay, because I don't want to get through this process of the marketing funnel and we get to the end and we're this close, like, Patrick, I'm going to pay, send me over the order form, okay? And I don't want them to get the order form, which might be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, and all of a sudden they're like, wait, I had no idea this was going to cost this much money. I thought I was going to be able to for you, $50 and you get all this done for me. No, homie, that ain't happening. Okay, that was Patrick in business 30 years ago. That ain't happening now. Okay. So I forced them through this public link here, sales, to get everything. I need their website. I basically want a brain dump from them about what do you need, okay? What do you need? And then once they fill that out, the next step is the calendar. Once they fill that out, then they end up over here in pending call 1. So initial interest is anyone who messages us or texts us or fills out any kind of form, or anybody we meet in the elevator, okay? I'll put over here initial business with the information I have. One of the things, and hopefully I have it here in some of these test examples, is for people that are, use our monthly retainers. Yeah, cool. For people that use our monthly retainers, is I have our monthly retainer products listed here. And once I have an idea of, what I think they might want, is I will select this here, because this comes in later. This is useful later in automations. We've got a smaller retainer, we've got a bigger retainer, we've got a huge, a website, we've got a one-off consult kind of thing. All those are listed here. And so what that tells me later, when I kind of save what I know they want in my fixed set of packages, it makes the automations easier later, because I know, are they SEO client? Are they an automation client? Are they a pay-per-click client? Are we going to be running Facebook and Google ads for them? Are we just rebuilding a website? We're doing like a 2-month website redesign project. So that tells me and tells other staff members what is coming down the pipe. Okay. Evan, please let me know if this is still helpful, because I'm walking through, now that I know that you're dealing with a sales pipeline, I'm going to walk through how I think sales should work, and you can take this and modify it. So hopefully this is contributing to your answer here. Okay. So pending call 1 is basically means they've scheduled something. Okay. Pending call 1 is they've scheduled something. Once something is done with pending call 1, number one of the first things I make sure I do is, we have an appointment. I gather for information from them as much as possible. I even send them, okay, cool, good, dude, Evan, glad to hear it. One of the things let me see. We got to get that on the screen. Evan dropped us a cool comment right here. You're rocking it. Okay, cool. We got to get that on the screen right there. So, right before the call, so in automation, you can basically say, here's the call, and here's what I want to happen in negative 30 minutes, negative an hour, negative 2 hours. 24 hours before and an hour before, I'm actually pushing them a video saying this is what our call is going to be about, and make sure you've given us this information ahead of time, okay? I can't force them to do that, but I say, for the most productive call possible, please do your homework ahead of time, okay? We hold a call, we decide whether or not we're going to work together, yada, yada, yada. And then I just position the call. Something very important that people don't do is this call for this person is this appointment right now is let me see if we have one here. Let's go look in calendar. Do we have any pending appointments here in my test calendar? Um, calendars. Let's go look in calendar. Do we have any pending appointments here? I don't. Okay, we're gonna set up a new appointment here. I'm gonna pick up my buddy Keith. So we're gonna say, oh no, we're gonna do Evan. Here we go. Initial discovery call with Evan. We're gonna make this. We'll say this is the day. This is the day, right? We'll say this was the day. Okay. Obviously, it's not gonna talk to my calendar. We're gonna put. We're gonna use. Can I use? Find one of Keith's contact records. Here we go. So we'll use one of Keith's contact records. Okay, appointment booked. Okay, so you've got a pending appointment. Someone's used your contact form. You've got a pending appointment. So this is on your calendar. They've got your Zoom link and everything. They get a good call transcription. Make sure you have some kind of AI note taker on all of your calls. I really do. So they do this, and then what happens is you have to disposition this call. Okay, if you're someone who loves numbers and you want your numbers to look right and high level, please always make sure you disposition your calls. Meaning, if the person shows up, if Evan shows up or Keith shows up here, after my call, I go in and I change the disposition of the call. Did they show? Did they ghost me? Did they cancel? Number one, because then what you can do is you can kick off automations based on this. Okay, so if somebody shows, I make a note. My brother, Josh Satterley, good looking man in Vegas right there. If you want a man to crack your back and get your spine in shape, he's the man right there. And thanks, Josh, man, for not ragging me for working on what should be an off day, man. I like Josh. Josh keeps me in check. I like Josh. He keeps me in check. He's one of the how many demo appointments I have scheduled in the next 30 days? That's a good question. Let's work on Evans. Let's keep working on Evans. So Evan, after a call is done, you have to disposition the call. So in my automation, I have it set up so an hour after an appointment, I get an internal notification that I need to disposition this call. So I will change the call to a show. An automation can then kick off, and I can do a bunch of other things. I add to the score. I may send them a follow-up email saying, hey, thanks for the call, yada, yada, yada. Here's a post-call video, which may help you make a decision kind of thing, if I didn't close them on the initial call. And same thing with all these. If someone's a no-show, I might nag them to rebook. Hey, sorry, we know you were busy. Or if they canceled, same way. We may remind them to rebook a call. Okay. So I'm looking for all these automation points, all these hooks where I can basically either adjust some stuff on the contact records or just some stuff internally to make sure that I follow up with this lead. So going back to my opportunities, so I think after I disposition the call, I add a note and then I move them to pending call 2. Or if I close the deal on the initial call, what I will do is I will drag the opportunity over to send contract. And here's the important part, Evan, which you may or may not be doing. Whoops, I did not want to start up Canva. Shut that crap down. You may or may not want to do is everything from this point forward is automated in my pipeline. Okay. So when I click on send contract, an automation kicks off that will look at what they're buying, because remember I selected that drop down, that will look at what they're buying and send them the appropriate contract. Because I've got a few contracts, okay? Russ, I learned a lot about contracts from Russ Ward and got some demo contracts from him. So someone tag Russ Ward in the comments of this video. I need Russ Ward and Cody Shearer. But I send them that, and then once they get that, then via automation, I update the state of the opportunity to pending contract. And then I can come into my stage here and I can say these 4 people have have a contract email from them and they haven't signed it. Okay. Once they sign it, automation moves them over here. This stays here for like 10 seconds. And again, because I know the product they're going to buy, remember we selected on the opportunity, I know what order form to send them because I have multiple order forms. The automation then sends them the order form, and then I just basically wait for payment. And then upon payment is I mark the opportunity as 1, so it disappears off this board, and then I start the onboarding process. Once somebody pays something, a lot of stuff kicks off. But one of the things that I really did that made my life so much easier, because I'm involved in the sales and marketing of my business, is everything from send contract going forward, send contract, pending contract. That's all automated. I don't touch it. It's a rare exception. I'm never saying never, but I almost never touch an opportunity as it's moving from send contract going forward. because I have all the information I know to get more information from them or to send them what they need. Evan, does that make sense? Does that help at all? Dude, um, okay, Evan, let me know. I'm going to move on to Josh's so we can go back and forth here. And again, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do so we can get your cool little name popping up on the screen. Evan, hopefully that was useful. And so we'll keep talking about your change. Let's see what Josh needs here. Always looking forward to help Josh. So what does Josh have today going on this bright Sunday? Anyway, to see how many demo appointments I have scheduled in the next 30 days. Good, Evan, man. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Anyway, to see how many scheduled demo appointments I have scheduled in the next 30 days from Josh. Okay, we're going to talk about call dispositions later. Okay, so Josh, to tell you the truth, brother, what I did is I came over here. I spend a lot of time in here these days over to calendars, and I had a dashboard. On my main account, I have a dashboard, Josh, which shows me the upcoming appointments I have here in the next 30 days. So let's see if we can set that up live, brother. So first of all, let's make sure we do have a appointment calendar. Okay, we have one here. And so dashboard, let's come here and modify our dashboard. Open opportunities. We're going to get rid of this one. It's ugly for now. We can add that later. We're going to add a widget. And let's see, appointments. Let's see, appointments. Is that what we want? Appointments. Yeah, so appointments, let me see. Confirmed appointment. Appointment count. So I need appointment counts and a list of appointments. Make sure I pick this one right. Appointment count, appointment count. So I don't want, you know what, I want tabulated. I don't want a number. So appointment count over a date range. Let's see if this will do it, dude. Okay, there we go. So appointment count over a date range, conditions, add a condition. Ooh, I can't pick the calendar. Okay, I can pick the actual calendar. I can't pick the date range. Oh, that shouldn't be hard. We'll save that. We will save that. So, oh, my date range is up here. So it's taking care of the date range. Should be taken care of here, brother. Let's resize this a little bit for those of you who like things to be spaced just right. Can I not resize? Because I have too many columns. Let's just go do that. Let's edit the number of columns here. We don't need all these columns. Appointment owner, don't need. Requested time, does that work? Okay, so we'll save that widget. Let's line this, save that. Did you save? Okay, good. Come on, really? I can't resize that. Are you gonna be that much of a pain in the ass? I can't resize that. Really? Dang it, Sean, fix that, brother. Sean Clark, fix that. So this, yeah, there should be, let's change the date of this. So we can change this for my brother Josh to say, upcoming appointments. And then, you know what? This is what we're going to do. You know what? Hold on. I know there's a way to do this. Actually, there is a way. Let's see if I can find it here. There was, on some of these widgets, Josh, their upcoming appointments. Was that there that I missed? You know what? Then let's do that. Let's add a widget. Did I see upcoming appointments and I missed it? Oh, there we go. Upcoming appointments for next week. Created on. We don't, but you know what? Initially, we don't want this one because I think it's a chart. I think it's a chart and it's a count. We want, so when you're building these dashboard widgets up here, this tells you the type of data that you want. And what Josh wants, I believe, is this data represented as a table versus, versus a number. So this is a number, a pie chart, a line chart, a bar chart, vertical, a bar chart horizontal, and a table of data. So make sure you select the table data there, Josh, brother man. And we don't have any upcoming appointments for next week. So I'm kind of curious. Status is confirmed. Status is new. Themes. Let's do red. Red's never up. Excuse me, pink. So let me see if this will work, Josh. If we come to this appointment over here, this calendar appointment over here, and we change Goodness gracious, Patrick, you're clicking all of it. Let's change this appointment that we have here. Let's edit this one and make this for next week. Okay, so we'll make this one for the 25th. We're gonna do calls on Christmas. Josh knows I would, and he would call me and make sure I get off the phone and pay attention to real life. So we've got a reschedule to December 25th. Let's come to our dashboard and see if that worked. Upcoming appointments for next week, December 22nd through 24th. Okay, it didn't pull it in. So let's see. Do I have bad data? Do I have bad data? What do I do here? Select columns, advanced settings, requested time, booked for, date range, override next week. Oh, you know what it is I bet you that appointment is not this week. It's December 25th. So it's not for next week. It's for this week. So watch this. I bet you if I change the appointment back to, let's choose calendars, save. Okay, so we're technically in this week, not next week. So, so this is for next week. And then let's add another one for upcoming appointments. Upcoming appointments for next so we want one. So this is next week. We want this week and next week. So this is next week. This is the week. Again, this is not this week. This is next week. And a appointment for December 25th is in this week. Is that making sense? So this is upcoming for next week. This is upcoming for, I want this one to be for this week. Let's save all that. Okay, close that out. So this first one I want this one to actually be for this week. So let's do that. So we will say this one is for this week. The conditions we want for this week, we want requested time, booked for, date range, override this week. Okay. Any progress? What did I do there? What did I do there, guys? Because that's what I really want. So Josh, that's what I think we're doing, man, is just getting these dates on these two widgets to line up correctly. So this is the one I want for this week, and this is the one I want for next week. So the next week one I'm sure is working. Let's see what I did for this one here. I have a default date range, but specifically, yeah, exactly. Cool. Josh brings us up a very good thing here. Let's do a quick sidebar. Josh brings up a very good thing here. One of the cool features on dashboards in DHL is that your entire dashboard can have a default date range, but a specific widget can override it. Very powerful. So let's see here. Upcoming appointments for this week, upcoming appointments for next week. Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. So let's see how come this, and let's make sure we still got this right, okay? We have an appointment with Keith for December 25th, 8 a.m. That is technically this week, right? So calendars, let's go back to our dashboard, work on this and see what did I mess up here. And someone in the comments, please feel free to, sometimes I miss the most obvious stuff. Select columns, those are all good. Advanced settings, what's our date range? Requested time, December 25th. Date range override this week. So 12/22 to 12/28. Shouldn't that, let's see, condition, it's a confirmed appointment. Themes there, 18, once this had data, it would be very powerful. So what am I missing here, Josh, man? What am I here? 12 demos last week, exactly. Especially Josh, if you look at, you and I talked about this yesterday on the phone, if you look at this week versus last week and you get a red number or a green number that shows relative improvement. That's the thing I think people really want to see on data. If you tell me, remember as a business owner, I've got a lot of data bouncing around in my head. If you tell me I have 10 appointments this week and I have forgotten that I had 8 last week and I had 3 the week before, I may not remember that. I may not be as impressed with your service. So whenever you present data to people, that's one of the reasons I love colors and data, is make sure you use a dashboarding solution, if you will. Nothing against the built-in Highlevel one. I use it myself. But if you want to get really fancy, try to find a way to show somebody your data and then relative to the previous time period so they know that you are improving their marketing, okay? I love the fact that I can just look at dashboards and red tells me I need attention, green tells me things are going good. And that's true for keyword ranking, that's true for anything regarding sales or marketing or pipeline filling. I know, for example, that the acceleration of my pipeline is speeding up. I'm getting more and more and more people asking for help. I get even agencies at Highlevel asking for help. And I love seeing the fact that my pipeline has more opportunities this week than it did last week. But I can't just look at the number. I have to look at the number relative to other number. To diagnose, pull up the appointment, which calendar user type, to make sure we are looking at that at conditions. Okay, Josh, good point, man. So let me pull up that appointment. So let's go pull up the appointment. Okay, yeah, let's see what we're matching here. Let's see what we're missing. Save our changes. Go back to our calendar here. Let's see, what are we missing? Let's do what Josh tells us to do. This man knows what he's talking about. So this is, let's see here. Booked by me. Super low churn, nice. Pull up the appointment. So here we go. December 25th, 8 to 8:45. It's on the only calendar I have here. Of course you are, Keith. You're going to be there, right? Because I'll be awake, Keith. I'm awake at 5 a.m., brother. So this looks to be. Is anyone seeing anything here that I'm missing when it comes to my dashboard? So my dashboard widget says this week, which is December. The range of, you know what? Is this one somehow paying attention to my date range? No, I can't even. So this week. So I can change the date range here, 12/22 to 12/22. That is not my date range. Okay. This week. Oh, do I have to make this one? How come I can't? Oh, you know what? My date ranges are messed up. This week, I bet you I have this set Monday. I wonder if I have this set Monday through Sunday. I wonder if I have this set Monday through Sunday. So the 22nd, I wonder if the 22nd is the end of this. Well, no, that doesn't make sense either, because then next week would have the appointment on it. So this appointment on the 25th should be, let me see, advanced sets in, booked for next. So next week, well, yeah, good question. Let's look at the date range under the widget title. Yeah. So let's go back to, so Josh is saying, look at the date range under the widget title. So let's look at here, edit, under the widget title. So we have our columns, which we know are in decent shape. Advanced settings, requested time, which is created. Okay, we want requested. We don't want to change that. Descending. The date property is the date it's booked for. Good. Date range is this week. Right here, it says 12/22 to 12/28, and we know our appointment is the 25th. I wonder if Highlevel is having an issue here with date ranges, which is entirely possible. So that's this week, and then next week, what's the date range? Technically, the date range for next week. Date range for next week is, well, number one, we don't want view by created on. We want view by booked for. Booked for next week, 22nd to 28th. So one of these two should be catching this frickin' appointment. And still, not a showing on either one. Interesting. It was a confirmed appointment. Is that condition being met? That's number one. Double check. Confirmed appointment. I don't even think. Oh, you know what? Anything's possible. Let's go take a look. Oftentimes, when I'm solving tech issues like this, it's the obvious stuff that will bite me in the ass. So, let's go take a look at the conditions for these. Advanced settings, requested, date range, conditions, confirmed. Confirmed. What happens if we take all these out? Don't have to worry about the theme. Let's, when you're having an issue like this, interesting. Did you guys see that? So if I take the condition, the only thing I'm changing, the condition is status is confirmed. Oh, really? Status. Huh. No, it's okay, dude. I mean, every time there's an issue, I learn. But interesting. Did you guys see that? So that works. So that's pulling up the data this week and next week. That's the way I would expect it to work. But the interesting thing is when you add this widget, let's go look at this one. When you add this widget, the conditions by default are confirmed and new. I get two conditions. I get, and are you kidding me? Look at that. This is the default functionality. Am I correct in saying the default functionality is there's an and here, and that's actually checking to see if a appointment is in two statuses? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me, we're not going to get rid of Patrick 100%. So, yeah, look at that. By default, the condition is an and there's two in here. You know what? I'm going to recreate this just to make sure. Please don't tell me this is out of the box functionality, okay? So let's do that. Let's delete all these widgets. Let's add a widget for appointments. Appointments coming up. Upcoming appointments for next week. By default, the condition is an and for confirmed and new. Save that, okay? No appointments, right? No data over here. Nothing over here. Oh, look at that. We got that to resize properly. If I come in here and if I change that to an or, the way software works is before you start changing stuff, mentally in your head, think about what you want this to do or what it should do. I'm giving you some advice from my decades of software, from my decades of software testing. Predict either on paper or in your head what you want to do first before you change the condition, because you don't want the data after the test to reflect how you want it to work. I know it sounds kind of weird, but in my head, before I change this, I'm going to say, based on everything I know, if I change that to an or to prove like my hypothesis, that's going to work. And this is how I think when I'm working with clients, is I'm trying to predict the behavior before I take the action to change it. And then I will learn, oh, did my effort affect the outcome? Okay, so I'm expecting this to say or, and I'm expecting this appointment to now show up. Oh, wait. No, it just changed the chart type. What the heck? Okay, let's do this again from scratch so you guys can watch this. Exactly, Josh, you're 100% right. I just changed that, and all it did was change the type. Okay, add widget. We want a table of data, right? We want a table. We want appointments, upcoming appointments for next week, okay? So out of the box, we get nothing. Out of the box, we get nothing, okay? We're not going to mess with the columns. We're not going to so next week, 22nd through 28th. So we're looking at the date range. We're looking at that date range right there, okay? Conditions. So out of the box, save this. Nothing shows up over there, okay? What happens when I click on or? If I click on or and click on save? I do. Are you kidding me? Okay, so now that we have a software condition, let's see if we can repeat it, because this is how you file. This is how you file bugs. If something is repeatable, then it's an actual bug. So let's try that again. It's for everyone to watch me do this live. By the way, how are we doing on viewership? Oh, we've got several people watching. Cool. So I'm going to delete this. Oh, excuse me. I want to delete this widget. Okay, so save, yada, yada, yada. I'm coming in. I'm Josh. I'm going to come in and add a widget. I watch Patrick. I'm so much smarter. I'm going to add a table widget of appointments, of upcoming appointments for next week. Save that. Herder. Dang it. Gosh. Can you explain what this is, Kodo? Hey, dude, we're doing some CRM work. I'm training some people on how to run their business CRM. So nothing out of the box. Again, advanced settings. Date range should be good. Conditions. Well, conditions. You know what? Both conditions cannot be true. That's the problem. That's what I'm guessing is the problem. Okay? I don't know why this would work this way out of the box. There's no way a status can be two choices here. Okay? There's no way status can be two choices. Why would that? Does the or work? What I really want is I want the or. Mine are never new, but you really should throw new in there because some people may use that status. I auto confirm all appointments. So if I save that, that should work. Holy crap. And if I change that to an and, that should disappear. Well, one of us is going to be filing a ticket, Josh. That's bizarre, dude. Out of the box. You guys are watching this, right? Am I crazy? Out of the box. They want you to be filtered on. They set up an impossible condition. Well, you know what? We're on a Mac. We are going to grab this widget. We're going to grab this screenshot right here. Yeah, that is Keith. You're right, man. That's ridiculous. I don't know why they would do that. So, Josh, that should answer your question, though, man, of putting a widget on to see this week's appointments and next week's appointments. As long as your condition is right in the back, dude, you should be able to knock that out. Let me go back to Josh's questions. What's the other one? What's the other one? Status. Okay, and here's the interesting part. Not only are these just a second, Kodo. Thank you for the question. So not only do I get two conditions here, and they're conditions that are impossible. You see something else here is I can't add another condition based on status. So out of the box, they can have two status conditions here. I can't add another one. Status is grayed out. So we'll delete mine. Can I add a condition here? I can't add a condition here. Status is. So I want mine to be status is confirmed, and delete that one and save that. But just a second ago, you noticed. So for demos, you would specify the calendar and confirmed, but with this issue, we can't do new and confirm on a specific calendar. It appears correct. You can't have. It's a drop down. You can't have two conditions here. So can I add another condition? Okay, I can add a status here. Okay, good. And if I delete all these, can I put a condition based on status? Okay, I can. Oh, wait. I can't pick it. So add a condition. Okay, you see what I'm saying here? Is if I want to do what Highlevel did, okay, start from scratch, right? Save this. I want to do my condition. If I want to say status is new or confirmed, let's change this to an or. Status is confirmed. And can I add another status? I can't. Look at that. I can't make it work the way I want it to. I can't say status is confirmed or status is new out of the box. What I have to do is I have to basically just, when I add this widget here for Josh, is to come here into opportunities, scroll down to opportunity upcoming. Where was it? I missed it. Opportunities, upcoming opportunities. What did I miss? Choose calendar first and then status. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying there. I'm being blocked. Hoisted by my appointments. I'm sorry. We're not doing opportunities. We're doing appointments. So we are going to add a widget. We are going to add appointments. We want upcoming appointments for next week. And remember, out of the box, this will not work. You will not have anything on it, okay? I'm going to emphasize that over and over and over so it gets in your brain. Condition is status. Okay, so first of all, if you want this to work, just change this to or, save it. Okay, look at that. That is the second time that crap has happened. I'm not crazy. Watch this. When I'm clicking on this, it's actually changing the chart type when I'm clicking on non-chart type data. That's the part that's freaking me out a little bit, okay? I hate it when things aren't predictable, okay? So we're going to add widget here. We're going to add appointments. We said upcoming appointments for next week, right? Okay. Now what happens when I save this? See? No data found. Look on the left-hand side. No data found. I don't know what kind of chart that's going to be yet. Up here. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm freaking out over something that's irrelevant. Okay. So we're going to do just confirmed. Actually, you know what? I really don't need either one of these. If this is a future appointment, okay, can I not save this now? Can I, we want this to be a table. We want this to be the table of data there. So now can I go back and add those exact same conditions? I want to say if status is confirmed and status, look, I can't pick that, or. Oh, is that smart enough? See, it's not even smart enough to let me do that. I want to say status. What happens if I save this? Save all this, come back. I want status new or confirmed. Okay, is it not doing it? Conditions, status is add condition. Yeah, I can't go back there and manually add, say status is new or confirmed. That's how it should work. Is number one, when I come in here, I should say or. And then number two, I should be able to add that back in there. But see, I can't. User is me. Can I add another condition after I add user? Look, when you're adding conditions, you can only add. Can you literally only add? Okay, we're going to do it Josh's way. We're going to pick calendar. Calendar is my booking calendar, okay? Let's get rid of everything else because we've got booking calendar and we've got a future date range here. Okay, no problem there. Add condition. Add status. So basically, as I'm going through their wizard here, I can only pick one condition for each filter, if that's making sense. And someone correct me if I'm wrong here. But it wants me to only pick calendar once, user once, group once, or status once. So can I come down here, for example, and pick status is confirmed? And I want to, again, go back and say, I want whether or not status is confirmed or status is new. Can't pick it. Okay, well, someone, Keith, you can do it. Josh, you can do it. Patrick can do it right here. Someone needs to open this up as a ticket. And so, Josh, my brother, this may be one of the reasons I'm a little bit upset. Completely irrelevant, but this is why I like my third-party dashboards, is because that would have worked. No slight against Highlevel at all, but that's just bizarre. You know, I thought I was crazy sometimes when it takes work to get these widgets to work. But hey, okay, so we found something we got to work on. So I'm going to make a note there. Okay, let's go check on some other questions now that Josh has commandeered my life this Sunday. Thanks for working through. I hope everyone sees the power of figuring this out. Yeah, and this is what Josh brings up a very good point. This is how you know you have a good, business marketing company or high-level consultant is, man, that's just bizarre. That's just bizarre. By the way, the example you're seeing on the dashboard here, this is how I like to present my information to my clients. Is I like to present them with like 3 or 4 big major metrics at the top of whatever report they get or whatever dashboard they get, and then kind of get down to the secondary metrics and tertiary metrics right here. So if I was building this from scratch, I would probably not put one opportunities on there because oftentimes they don't care about that. They care about money. So if I was building this dashboard from scratch again, I would probably do something like, how did this week go? So let's look at, you know what, I'm going to do dashboarding. I take that back. I'm going to do dashboarding as a whole separate live stream because that's something that can really take over our life. Let's go back and see what other questions we've had because I have not been paying attention. Okay, we talked about Brian and CSS. Evan, hopefully, brother, you're still hanging around. Hopefully what I shared, what I did helped you. Evan, do you or Russ have some kind of helpful tips about, here we go. Let's add this here. And anyone else, feel free to jump in here. And do you or Russ have some helpful tips about variable pricing, custom quotes for invoicing? The installs are quoted so the client can payment down vary, the final price can vary. So Evan, is there any way, dude, to get this to be, to standardize this? I'd have to work on this one. This one's definitely going to be a challenge. But do you or Russ have any helpful tips about variable pricing, custom quotes for invoicing? You know what? I'm going to have to admit that variable pricing or very custom pricing, I don't have a lot of experience with because so far the clients I've worked with and our agency is offering, they're very much either fixed price or it's, like fixed price for this, and this versus, so I almost never change on an invoice for our agency. I almost never change the quantity column, okay? You get a fixed price if you want a one-off consult. You get a fixed price if you want us to travel to your business across the country and present to your sales team, okay? All my stuff is very fixed price based. So Evan, I know a lot about variable pricing or doing that via workflow. I'm going to have to admit I don't know a ton about that, but that gives me something to bone up on when it comes to skills. So I know, Evan, that's not going to be a strong point of mine, okay? I apologize. And then Josh brought up something here, which is important, but we didn't get a chance to cover it, is the fact that your dashboard can have a default date range, but you can override that. Because in some cases, like on our dashboard, we want data for the current week and we want data for the week after that. Or sometimes, for example, and this is really true on a dashboard, you want to know um, actually previous day's work. So a dashboard tends to be for like live real-time data. What I ship to my clients is a report they get on a Friday that shows past history, okay? So reports are for past history and performance and how well things are doing, and then dashboards are usually really good for real-time live data, kind of right here. And you can do all kinds of cool things with dates, as Josh pointed out there. I'm going to see Keith at 6 a.m. on the appointment. A gentleman named Kodo. Kodo, are you still watching? Make sure I pronounce that right. Cool. Yeah, cool, Evan, brother. Have a good day. Kodo, I'm probably pronouncing it right. I'm a developer. Any ideas on AI automation that could improve your flow? Improve your flow. Kodo, can you please give me some more detail on that? There's plenty of stuff you could do with AI automation that would, improve the flow. But what do you mean by improve? What are you looking to do? Okay, I can tell you. Let me pull up my screen here. I can tell you right now, the only thing that we do, we're starting to dabble with some cool AI things inside of automation, but right now, probably the most advanced things, um, reports. Here's how Patrick made your money. Yeah, I'll use those two guys from the Homeboy Shopping Network from back in the 80s on Living Color, Josh. Mo money, mo money, mo money. I'll put that GIF in my weekly report emails. Okay. Um, I think that's where my head is when it comes to TV shows. So hopefully that helped Josh and his friends. Um, let me see, Kodo. Yeah, Kodo, for the AI, for your question, I would have to have some more. I would have to have some more detail. Okay, Josh, I didn't see that before. So here's Josh's comments. So a dashboard is here's how your business makes money, and then a report is for here's how Patrick made you money. There we go. I like that. I like that, Josh. Very well put, sir. Yeah, Kodo, I can talk about AI for a little bit. It's not definitely my strongest point, but if you have any particular areas where you want improvement, let me know. We can work through some scenarios there. I'll work through them live like we did here. So while that's going on, let's pull up some more questions from the Facebook group, boys and girls. Shall we? Let's do this, and we'll do it live so you can do it with me. Let's see what questions are going on that we can, some easy answers we can knock out here. Okay. So we're going to hop over to the Highlevel community. We're going to share Patrick's screen. We're doing screen share here. Is that right? Yeah, let's do the screen share. Let's see what's going on this morning. Okay. Which plan allows me to sell subscriptions to other agencies to white label and add their own sub-accounts? The answer is none. You can't white label or white label it yet. You know what? I'm going to even cheat a little bit. And I'm going to put my YouTube link in the answer to this question. Can somebody do that for me? Keith, if you're watching, can somebody put a link to this YouTube stream in that comment? And I'll try to do it also so I can answer this guy's question. But let me see here. There it is. And there's, you know what? We'll just put this here. Here we go. Answering live. Answering live. So there's the link there. Okay. So which plan allows me to sell subscription to other agencies? Okay, this is something that a lot of people want. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't have a need for it yet, but I see this question not infrequently, and I believe there's something for it in the ideas log. But you cannot white label a white label yet. What you can do is you can get a second white label account, which is a pretty easy thing to do, and $4.97 a month isn't a lot when it comes to these other agencies. So if you want to sell subscriptions to other agencies to white label and add their own sub accounts, get another sub account, or just use your existing one, or give them your affiliate link. Okay, at $4.97 a month, give them your affiliate link, but you could also give them your affiliate link and you could log in and manage it for them. Okay, that's the ideal situation here. Okay, we always talk about giving people more and more access. I actually look for ways to give clients less and less access. Okay, they don't need all that access. They're just going to mess things up. So maybe you use your affiliate link, they sign up, They give you the login, you change the password, and you never let them in. And you take care of this for them with all your cool API magic. So the answer is you can't really do white label yet. Here's an old question. I have a client who struggles in getting me content for social media. He's a home services guy that struggles with the tech. So much that one day he gave me his iPhone for the night to rip photos from. He's super busy, so I grab his photos, and being a marketer who never swung a hammer's knife, I don't know what I'm looking at. Here's a question. Is there a way I can give him some type of portal to upload job photos, either to the card in the CRM or build something separate where he can drop the photos? Okay, so yeah, I like the solution that people have down here is using a tool, maybe some kind of app that you can give him on there. But for the people that really are not tech savvy, you have to make it just dead simple for them. And sometimes dead simple is, you know what? Text after a job, text pictures to this number, and have them text it to your SMS number for your agency. Download the pictures, use those for social media. Backup plan is have them text them to your phone number. And then another possible backup plan is use one of these job image apps where they can upload a job completion photo into there, and then you will get that as a result. Okay, but just make it dead simple for them. I have dealt with my share of business owners who have more money than they have time and more money than they have knowledge, and we have to make it so dead simple for people like that. So keep on working on that, please. Make it just dead simple for them, Mr. Camp. Let's see, what else do we have here? Hoping some feedback here regarding a high-level store. Ooh, I like these. I set up a store for someone who sells makeup or beauty products. It looks awesome, and they have about 15 products. The issue is I want a detailed order confirmation sent out. Can I join the Facebook group? Yeah, you should be able to, Kodo. The issue is, and I've already reached out support, I want a detailed order confirmation sent out. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Currently, it sounds like that's not an option. Correct, you realize that. High level, having them migrate to Shopify since they would be a separate expense for the client. I want to keep everything inside high level. You may not have a choice. They currently have Square set up as the payment processing system. Can they view Square to see what was ordered specifically? Or maybe I set up a Zap? Well, no, because Square, well, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know about that. But I know that I know that order detail is a challenge for sure. So that one, I think you're going to either have to use, and I know you don't want to have people use Shopify. The nice part about that is if somebody has a really complicated e-commerce setup, let's face it, Shopify is really good, and High Level has a native Shopify integration. So I tell people, if you really have to use Shopify, use it and just use the native built-in integration. I mean, really, I would love it if everything was all in one also, but it's not all in one. It's not all in one. We know that. It's getting warm up here. Since we can't make sites on GHL responsive, I don't agree with that. Outside of mobile desktop reviews, is it just better to use WordPress sites for now? No. Your input is much appreciated. Okay, you obviously know my opinion on this. I'm very strong. I'm very anti-WordPress these days for the average business owner, for the average agency. Okay, and there are probably some times to use WordPress. Hikam Aboud from 14 hours ago, that I would really see if you can get the high-level stuff working, because there are just so many benefits to using a high-level site. And this is a continuous battle between agencies out there. Use WordPress or use high-level. If you're going to buy into the world of high-level, use it. Use it. Squeeze all the juice out of it. And when you cannot squeeze all the juice out of it anymore, add in another orange or switch to add on another tool. Okay, but please, it always amazes me when people pay, $4.97 a month for High Level, and then another couple $100 a month for support, and they're like, I guess I'll build my site over on HostGator or over on Cloudways inside of WordPress. Are you freaking kidding me? Make your life easy. Yeah, that's why we're here for you. Is make your life easy when it comes to marketing and sales. How to build AI center voice? Okay, we're not building that. Once a new client signs up through a SaaS link, is there a way to automatically control what permissions they have? Okay, Kyle Weaver. Let me see. Signs up through a SaaS link. That doesn't tell me whether or not they're signing up for like an agency account through your affiliate link to get their own SaaS, or are they signing up through a account where they're creating a new SaaS, a new CRM under your link? We better ask him here. So, which SaaS link your affiliate link or a link to get a new CRM from you. So we need some more detail on that. Oftentimes, these questions here are just people just don't know how to ask, or there's not enough detail, and you have to get some more questions. And to tell you the truth, when it comes to tech support in general, the first response to somebody having an issue is almost always to get more information from it, because very few people on their initial change request, something I've just learned over the years, on initial change request in their marketing or initial problem request, they don't give enough information. So almost all the time the answer is another question, which frustrates people. But I'm sorry, Mr. Kyle Weaver, I cannot read your mind. I don't know exactly what you're referring to there. So Jeffrey M. Bannock, it looks like he's promoting voice AI, cool stuff, multi-part series. JC Collins here, 42 minutes ago. Where is the best place to purchase snapshots that I can use repeatedly for different clients? There is no best place. Almost usually when I see the word best, I know that the answer is there is no best. It's whatever works. So the answer, Mr. Collins, is you can use them from anywhere. You really can. Um, okay. So I guess William Gordner has a ton of snapshots. I've never been much. I've never been much of a snapshot collector, only because most snapshots, in my opinion, have to be heavily customized. So I'm not much of a snapshot connector. Wendy Joris, question about reviews automation. So I just moved over my list and clients have not given me consent to receive text messages. It's okay, not too bad. So I'd like to use a similar workflow with email. Okay, I don't know, a similar workflow to what? Similar workflow to what? See, I'm already lost. With the SMS workflow, you ask them to send a number from 1 to 5, and if positive, sends them the review link. Can you do the same with email? Oh, I don't know why you couldn't. Also, I wonder how you can stop the workflow once they have actually filled out the review. Well, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there a review? Isn't there a review completed trigger? We may have to get Miss Wendy on the phone here. So we're going to say here, answer live at here. So if I'm not mistaken, isn't there a trigger here? Let's get into automations. Isn't there a trigger here that says review? Yeah, new review received. There you go. So, Miss Wendy, new review received. To take something out of an automation when a review is received, you would do something like that, and then you would have something, a workflow, a remove from workflow based on the previous workflow. You can come over here and select another workflow, and let's say it's, that workflow or it's one of these other workflows. You can take them out of that once the review is received. So I thought that was pretty easy. What were the other parts of this question? So I would like to use a similar workflow with email. For the SMS workflows, you can ask them to send a number from 1 to 5. Yeah, you can do that same thing in email also. What you can do is, another trigger here. You wouldn't have these in the same automation. I'm just doing this for convenience of real estate. You can, if customer replied, so, actually let's change this to not be confusing. Let's delete that. Let's get rid of this trigger. Don't be a pain in the butt for me, high level. And then here you could, this is going to be a little bit questionable here. So customer replied. Hey Kodo, if you're still watching the stream, make sure you don't want to join the High Level Facebook group. Make sure you join my community at sdn.1/elite also, please. And if you haven't subscribed to YouTube yet, please make sure you subscribe to YouTube and turn on notifications so you can get notified when we do new shows. And I upload various content. So you know what? High Level's being a pain there. Let's do this. Add new trigger. Reply. Customer's going to reply via email. The filter is going to be, you know what? High Level, I don't have time for your crap right now. Let's build a new workflow. Start from scratch. This is going to be an email reply, right? So customer replied. The filter here should really, okay, well, normally that would let me pick the channel for reply, but it doesn't look like High Level is going to behave right now for me. Do I have to do like a whole browser refresh option here? Hey, if you are still watching, please leave a comment over there on how the audio and the video are looking here. So you should be able to, let's try that again, customer reply. And if this filter works right, I should be able to reply channel, email, and then from there, we should be able to say an if, customer replied, if, contact reply. Still watching. Good, dude. Good. Contact replied. So contact replied. Yes. Well, no, we already know that from the trigger. Replied message contains. Now here's the hard part, Miss Wendy Joris, is if I say replied message contains a number 1. Now, let's think about that for a second, okay? First of all, let's customer, we will say the trigger here is customer emailed back. Okay. The challenge here is I would almost hazard to guess that every email in the world has the number 1 in it, okay? So I wouldn't use this. I would find another way to, if you want to do this via email, I would find another way to put something distinct in the email that would only be there if they replied, or get them to fill out a form. I think what you're trying to do, Miss Wendy, is I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to review gate, okay? Somebody else correct me if I'm wrong here. I think, Wendy, what you're trying to do is review gate. So, if we think about NPS scores, for example, okay? NPS is a standard on how you rate doing business with someone, okay? 1 to 10. NPS scores 8, 9, or 10, or you would refer that business. So I believe what you want to do, Miss Wendy, is you want to say if it's 1, 2, or 3, we don't really want that review on the website. We like your feedback, but we don't want that review to go out on a Google Reviews. But if it's 4 or 5, by all means, here's a link to the Google review page. Submit a Google review, right? I think that's what you're trying to do. Again, a huge assumption here. People have various opinions on that. But what I would do, Wendy, is I wouldn't do this via a text message reply, and I would not do this via an email reply, because you're asking people to reply back with text and numbers, and that is ripe for errors, okay? For example, if I were to pull up any email right now in my system of the thousands of emails, I could guarantee you I'd be willing to easily bet that 100% of them have the number 1 someplace in the email, okay? So I wouldn't use that. I would send them to a form, okay? Get people out of email and text messages as soon as possible. Send them to a form. Let me see what's the duration of the stream. I want to make sure that we get this right. So we're an hour 43 in, because I'm going to, I want to make sure I kind of make a note as to where this is in the video, Wendy. Hopefully you're watching, Wendy. If you did tune in from the link I put in the group, let me know. Number 1, send them to a form. And then based on the reply of the form, do the review gating that you're talking about. And someplace I've got some code on this. We worked on a project for someone a while back that did it based on form, okay? And the form had actually like dynamic JavaScript on it. And when you picked 1 through 3, it just popped up a box to get some feedback from you. But if you picked 4 or 5, it actually sent you to the Google review link to actually put in the review, okay? So that's the way I would do it. I would not do it via email. I would do it definitely via form, okay? That is my take on that. And we talked about that at about an hour 43, okay? Fairly new to GHL. When you send an email through contacts, do they have a cost? Yes, they do. Seems that GHL has a lot of hidden costs. No. GHL has costs you haven't discovered or found out about or read up on yet. They're not hidden. I have yet to find something I had to pay for in Highlevel. And by the way, Chris, I know you're pretty new. It is Highlevel. We all get used to saying GoHighLevel. But it's very much exposed and very much available. So if you signed up, my friend Chris, if you signed up via an agency link, ask that agency what you're being charged, okay? Ask the agency. The agency should very clearly have a page someplace that shows the charges. underneath my Stop Doing Nothing media, I have a page set up that shows the last time I updated, because I will adjust rates on occasion. And then it shows cost per AI, cost per email, cost per text message, cost per voicemail. Okay. If you're an agency, if you're a brand new agency, please make sure you have that information publicly available for clients. Okay. And if you're a client of mine and you happen to be watching this, you don't know what that is, I will give you that link. But it goes out in, I tell people to go, here's how I like to do it. Number one, when people order, we like to make sure they check off the terms and conditions box. The terms and condition box links to terms and conditions and pricing and privacy notice, okay? So when you check off that box on an order form, I'm assuming you've actually read the terms and conditions, which have the prices in it, okay? If you're the kind of person who signed up and somebody else did that for you, sign up with us, for example, and you check off terms and conditions, and you come back later saying, what's the price of something? I'm going to say, well, you agreed to it, but here's the link also. Okay, I'll try to be an asshole about it, but you should have your pricing public and standard someplace. Okay, so that's Chris is, you just have to discover the cost, brother. You just have to discover the cost. And by the way, again, if you sign up through an agency should be telling you what that cost is, okay? I use Gmail to manage my box instead of the GHL email feature. Okay, cool. So do I. But I still want GoHighlevel to sync and store the email communication history with each contact. The issue is that any new email sync that Highlevel shows as unread, even though I've already handled it in Gmail. This creates the appearance of unread communications within Gmail. Is there a way to build an automation or another solution automatically to mark incoming email as read into Gmail to reflect their actual status? There might be. I don't know off the top of my head. I have to think about that. But to tell you the truth, I also don't worry about it. I really don't worry about whether or not something's unread. When in the conversations tab over here on Highlevel, I may see, in the conversations tab, let's get out of here, right there, confirm that. Conversations tab, I don't worry too terribly much. I don't have a lot here because I don't have a phone number connected here, but I don't really worry about it too much. Or over here when I'm looking at a contact, and let's say I have a contact here who I've emailed. We'll pick this one. Knowing me, this is probably someone I've emailed here. And yeah, so what you're saying is right here when these show unread. So we have opened. So you have delivered, opened, read, and unread. And what you're saying is you want these ones that say like delivered, which is delivered right here. If you've read this, if you sent this to somebody and they've read that, or you've read it, you want this to show read or clicked versus delivered. I don't think there's a way to do that, but again, at the same time, I don't worry about this. I use a regular email client on my Mac. I mean, that never stopped. In my life, I've never thought about even making Highlevel my primary email client. So that's just a foreign mindset to me. I use Missive on the Mac, Missive or Mac Mail or Spark, depending on the mood I'm in. When it comes to email clients. Yeah, I don't even worry about it. Like oftentimes I'll come into conversations on my main account for text messages. And if I know I've answered them all, I will literally I'll check this right here and it'll check off all of them. Then I will come over here and I believe it here or not here. But when you check this off, there's a drop down that shows up and you can mark it all as read. And that's what I do. I mark them all as read, clear that out, move on, which is really handy because it gets that number off your phone in the mobile app also. So let me go. Who was it that asked this question? So Mr. Trent Lee, I don't know if you can or not, but at the same time, when it comes to all the things in the world to worry about, please make that low on your priority list. Clay Lawrence got an award here. Very cool, Clay. Man, very, very cool, brother. Very cool. Very excited for you. Wendy Susan Richmond. I know Wendy. Oh, that's right. This was the post Wendy did that got a bunch of people replying and DMing here. So you did some lead generation here, Wendy. Very cool. We're all doing lead generation. So cool for Wendy. Fan Bing Tang. I'm guessing that's how I pronounce that. Questions about GHL's ad manager feature. Don't use it. Can't see myself doing it anytime soon. I am not the expert on that. What's the best method for getting SaaS clients in the healthcare niche? Ooh, man, Keith, Josh, brother, you better run down and answer this one here. Okay. Plastic surgeons. Ooh, Ibuku Izian Olu wants to know what's the best method for getting clients in the healthcare niche? Well, like Mr. Simpson said down here, healthcare is not a niche. Healthcare is a very broad industry. Let me move my head out of the way here for Josh. Okay, Josh, we're going to go to the upper right-hand corner now, okay? If that's okay. What is the best method for getting clients in the healthcare niche? And this is coming from Ibuku Izian Olu, I'm guessing, from back on December 17th. Number one, marketing. But yeah, you need to niche down a little bit. Fortunately for you, if you can lock up this niche, plastic surgeons, you're going to be in very good shape. That's a very, I've never worked in there, but I know plastic surgery is not cheap. So there's going to be some good revenue possibilities in there. But yeah, there's yeah, it's just going to be marketing. Ibuka, that's my thing. Is there's no special trick here to getting plastic surgeons. You're gonna have to call them. You're gonna have to email them. You're going to, yeah, actually, let me see. Healthcare is broad. Okay, so you're not going for plastic surgeons. So you're not going for the clients of plastic surgeons, which you're gonna have to at some point. You want plastic surgeons. Okay, there's probably not a lot of really good marketing you can do when it comes to small healthcare, like a local dentist or larger groups like hospital. He's talking plastic surgery, Josh. Um, so, plastic surgeons, man, that's going to be a lot of what I would do if I had to get plastic surgeon clients. Is I would delegate to somebody, or I would do it myself, reaching out to find the top 5 biggest cities in the USA, and then in each city, um, yeah, Josh Satterley works in the medical field, and he's putting some good things in the comments, in the YouTube comments. Make sure you go read them because we're streaming live. I believe, yeah, I'm only doing this live on YouTube, which is what I usually do the Sundays. But this is going to be one of those things where I would pick the 5 biggest cities in the U.S. That's going to be, the Dallas, Los Angeles, probably the New York area. Pick the 5 different ones. Find 10 plastic surgeons in each ones. You've got 50 prospects there, and start reaching out to them one by one. If you have a way to get an email address, maybe what you do is you come up with reviews and feedback testimonials. Okay, yeah, Josh is putting some other good comments also down in the video we are at about so look at Josh's comments. But while Josh is answering there, what I would say is, yeah, 5 biggest cities, 10 clients in each one. Maybe come up with a very simple 1, 2, or 3 email sequence to drop them in. I would build your spreadsheet of locations and email addresses. Email is what I would do first because it's low-hanging fruit and it's easy and it's free. I would come up with a way to do the cold reach out to them with maybe a 2 or 3 email sequence. Ooh, what do we get? Did I see a subscriber? There we go. Dorset Talks. I'm sorry about that. I missed a subscriber name that popped up there. But yeah, I mean, build a list of 50 email addresses. Top 10, the 10, either the 10 most popular plastic surgeons in the city, or go for maybe not the 10, maybe go for the people that aren't the top that want to be at the top. So here's an idea. Here's an in right here. Go find in each of these major cities. Okay, good. Josh is putting some more good comments down there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to post here. I'm going to say answering live at, let's get him on here. Let's get Mr. Ibuku, although I suspect he's in a different time zone, to put on here. But yeah, I wouldn't maybe go for the top people because those people are already doing unlock. Maybe go for the people that don't have the most reviews in the city. That might be a good competitive angle. I mean, if I'm making up numbers here, but let's say if all the good plastic surgeons in the city have 100 good reviews, you want to go find the people that have maybe less than 50 reviews and say, you know what, your competition has a lot more reviews than you do. We can do review or reputation management. Would you like to have a conversation? Make sure you always make your first reach out very short and simple. Make it something that they, advertising is always a good choice, Josh. Make sure that the cold reach out is very simple. An email or 2 at most. Even possibly put in the name of the other competitor there. Hey, I just noticed that Bob's Country Plastic Surgery, Bob's Country Plastic Surgery has 100 reviews. You only have 20. Would you like to hear how for a abysmal amount of money I can get you more reviews and get above Bob's Country Plastic Surgery review kind of thing? Yeah, don't always reach out. We oftentimes in marketing, we think we want to reach out to the top people in the industry, but you know what? Number two, three, four, five, and number two, three, four, and five all want to be number one. So maybe your marketing outreach, you are working really hard to market to two, three, four, and five, and not, and not number one. So that's what I would do there. A really simple cold email sequence. Maybe make email one or email two have a link on it. It's a trigger link that you can then take action on. Or maybe if they reply to that email, you can take action on that. But yeah, the initial cold outreach can be pretty automated. You're going to have to build up the list yourself or buy a list of plastic surgeons, but do the cold outreach in at low volume, of course, inside of Highlevel, and then track who replies. Yeah, focus on number two, three. Consults usually like 50-minute point. GHL is great. Yeah, Josh brings up a great point. Get in early with them. Here, you know what? Let's get Josh's comment up on the screen here. Let's see, what did Josh say here? Okay, let's look this. Let's make this big so we can talk about this. Scream of this. Get in early with them. He's talking about the new plastic surgeons, which or oftentimes if a hospital or a shop, oftentimes people break out all the time, is what Josh is saying here. And if you're breaking off from big giant Patrick's plastic surgery firm to Bob's small country bumpkin plastic surgery place, you're a new person and you need leads and you need consults and you need reviews. Maybe focus on those break off people, the people that aren't as big as the other ones. Get in early with them. Also, these offices do a lot with consults. They probably do like a lot of, like Josh said right here, 50-minute appointments. That's all lead generation for them. Help them with that lead generation. Help them with that lead generation. That's what we can all do here. Okay. Okay, what else do we have going on here today? I need help ASAP. This ticket. Everyone thinks they need help ASAP. Every time I send an SMS with an image attached, the image is sent as a link. I have been struggling with this problem for about a month now. Okay, this is probably going to be one I'm not going to be able to help with. So people, a lot of comments on this. Was there a fix to this? Image file may be too big for Michael Kelly. Put it here. Same error no matter what. 5 meg limit on 256K. Let me see. Does anyone provide a definite fix here? Yeah. Let me see. This is still me. I don't see a definite fix to this. Oh, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to hop over to Josh again. Okay, we got multiple layers here going on. Let's talk about Josh's comment here. I personally would go into the office with a marketing report, number of views, SEO score, etc. Drop it off with a gift. Has to meet the office manager, not the doctor. Give the report in person. Good point. Josh brings up a very, very good point. Yes, we had a little bit of a sneezing fit there. Sorry about that. If possible, yeah. Yeah. Hard to beat the in-person handshake kind of thing, isn't it, Josh? Very good point. Okay, let's review another question or two that Patrick needs. Gift muffins for the staff. Very cool. Um, let's go. Okay. Okay. Who has the best affiliate offer that focuses on snapshots, automation, and workflows? Okay. Every snapshot focuses on all those things. Looking for a 30-day free trial, so he wants a longer free trial, or an agency plan, or I'll plan to consolidate some accounts. We are going to a sneezing fit this morning. We have to quit pretty soon. Let's see if there's any other questions we can really, some low-hanging fruit we can really knock off here. This guy wants a social limit raise. That's not going to happen quickly. Oh, let's see any other low-hanging fruit question. I have a feeling 2025 will be the year of GoHighLevel and GoCollab. That was 2024. It's going to keep growing. Let's start here. Who's got a good prompt to create an AI Santa call? Look, Zach Horn. You should look in the Facebook group, brother. I've seen some people do some AI Santas. Those are pretty cool. How are you finding leads for your SaaS? Oh my goodness, we could probably spend 5 hours on this. but you got some good answers here. So I'm not going to answer that one. This one is doing something. Pat Friedel here is doing an AI call demo. Very, very cool here. 2 weeks in. Ooh, let's see what this person. Oh, I always love the ones that don't have a lot of answers here. So 2 weeks in, very impressed. Going to offer white label and aim for SaaS mode when I can afford it. Are there any new resources in assisting creating a pricing structure for clients? Pricing. With so many variables, I'm very keen to understand how other charges for setup, subscription, and support pointers. Okay, you know what? I'm going to answer this, and then we will call this a day. And we're doing this at about we're almost exactly 2 hours in. Man, Patrick doesn't know when to shut up. Okay, so here's my take on this. 2 weeks in, very impressed. Going to offer SaaS build when I can afford it. Noob resources. Okay, here's your noob resource. Okay, creating a pricing structure. I'm going to give you some quick answers here. Number one, do not have a lot of prices. One, maybe two. Okay, somebody got on Zoom the other day with somebody who had five or six prices. Wasn't a fan. Okay, people don't need that many pricing options. If you have that many plans, that means you're fighting for people based on price, and it means, in my opinion, you will have to have a very low end price offer, something like down in the 20s or 30s a month, and then go up from there. Okay, don't do that, please. Do not compete on price. You are putting yourself in a position to compete on price. So here, for the answer to this one, I would say have one or two prices at most. Make those prices over $100 at least, please. Don't go the sub $100 route. Okay, make your prices $197 and $297, or $197 and $397, or $197 and $597. Okay, make your prices not necessarily the highest, but make it so it's definitely worth your while. Okay, if you're brand new, one of the first lessons I would give anybody brand new in business is just do not compete on price. Okay, do not compete on price. Create a pricing structure. So set up subscription support. Setup will be onboarding. You're going to automate that as much as possible. Subscription, please make your lowest price plan. $497. I believe my lowest price plan for us to handle your monthly high-level account, I believe that's $497 a month. And then we just go up from there, okay? Subscription, obviously that's taken care of. Setup, you can charge an onboarding fee. Probably not a bad idea because your work's going to be front-loaded. So maybe if you do like a $497 a month, you throw in like a $197 or a $397 a month setup, or maybe at $497 a month you do a $5,000 setup. Okay, I don't know what industry you're talking about, so a lot of this depends. Mr. Phil Dearson, depends on the industry that you're in. Support, initially do support yourself, but after I don't know 5 or 10 clients, look at a service like Extendedly. Or you can reach out to Josh Satterley and I, and we have some other options there, I think, for you that are support related. But do not stay in the support area too long, especially if you're a super geek, because us super geeks get lost in the weeds when it comes to that. Outsource the support as soon as possible. As a business owner, your job is to focus on operations and sales and marketing, and leave support and all of the operations. You got to sub that out as soon as possible. And this is the reason that you don't charge bottom dollar pricing. Okay, if you live in the world of charging $37, $47, $97 a month, it's going to take a lot of clients for you to be able to hire someone like an Extendedly or an HL Pro Tools or one of those many places that you can use to sub your work out to. The way you get to that area, the way you get to that playground, that freedom playground faster, is by charging more money. And again, we could do a whole show on pricing and why you price things a certain way. I learned about premium pricing several years ago, and it basically gives me more revenue, more profitability, and more freedom. Okay? And it makes me look better, and it helps me grow faster. So if I could go back 20 or 30 years, whenever I started my business, I would say, man, delegate, outsource, subcontract out as much as possible. It's one of my faults. It's one of my faults because oftentimes people come in, I'll look at a change, and I'm like, I know that's a 5-minute change. It might even be a 2-minute change. I'm already logged in. But as a techie, your life is going to get bogged down and buried in 1-minute changes, 5-minute changes, quick projects. And if you're spending a half an hour trying to figure out when automation isn't working, or if you look earlier in the video, if you spend half an hour like I just did, trying to play with the calendar, trying to figure out why the calendar isn't working, then that's a half hour of sales and marketing you lost. That's a half hour you lost with your family. Okay. Yeah, you want to charge premium pricing so your business will grow faster, your business will be more profitable, and you will be able to afford more things. Last note I'll leave you here with: when you are basically pricing things, or when you are trying to figure out how to price things, one of the things you're doing with the profit in your business is you're buying money for growth, and you're buying money for freedom. And by freedom, I mean that you are buying your time. You know what? I just realized I'm talking picture in picture here. Let's get this fixed up. You know what? We're going to come back over here. Here we go. As we sign off here. Okay. Also, by the way, if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, subscribe right now. And your name will show up right. Where is it over here? Your name will. Here we go. Your name will show up right over here, and make sure you also click on Get Notified. Subscribe and get notified. But one of the things you're doing with your profit margin in your business, okay, is you're buying growth, you're buying scalability, and you're buying time. The time is the important one. I'm not going to use this finger. That would be offensive, okay? You're buying time, okay? And you want to buy as much time as possible because that frees you up to go do all the fun things in life. You got in the business to not be a slave to your keyboard and your iPad. You got in the business to make some money, help people out, and buy some of your time. And this is the reasons why you get in the world of premium pricing. Josh, man, thanks for sticking around. We will use Josh's message as our sign off here. Thanks, Patrick. Have a great Sunday and Merry Christmas, my brother. Josh, I promise I will try not to stream on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but no promises because you know me, I'm insane. But yeah, Mr. Phil, please make sure you use premium pricing on this stuff. Okay, do not skip. Do not go for a low end price just because you're starting off. Just because you're starting off at high level and you're new doesn't mean you have to charge $49 a month, dude. Out of the gate, have a $997 plan or a $1497 plan, but make sure it's worth it. Okay, look at some of the other cool white label tools you can add on to Highlevel. Okay, one of the cool things I like about Highlevel is because it's a white label CRM, is all of the services offered around it, the appts, the plays, the HL Pro tools, the extended leads, the Hey Levi's, all the tools offered in the high level world can be white labeled. So what do you do? How do you get to premium pricing? Well, it can be by services. It can be by what you offer them, or as we often call it, SWAS, service with a service. But if you take the high level CRM, the core CRM, you add in a Hey Levi AI into it, you add in the support, well, now you have a really good white labeled bundle that looks like all under your name, like our Playmakers platform, and then you can charge a premium price for it, okay? So just do not try to swim in the bottom of the barrel. In the Facebook group all the time, we see posts from people that are coming in, or either advertising really cheap prices, or they're trying to be the absolute best product at the cheapest price. Trying to be the best product at the cheapest price is a sure way for business failure. It just is. So hopefully, Mr. Phil, I will once I get this uploaded, I will put a time hack so you can come to this part of the video and watch it. Well, hopefully, if you have got pricing questions, that will help you. But I got to go through this video now and put all those bookmarks in there to get people to this section of the video. You guys, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy whatever holiday you choose to celebrate. And you know what? If you don't celebrate, then high frickin' five to you, okay? You know what? I find Christmas very pressure bearing sometimes. But take some time off. Try not to work so hard because you're going to bust your ass in 2025. What do we have coming up in 2025? I'm going to Costa Rica for an event. Let me see who is putting on the event in Costa Rica, which is really cool. I'm going to Costa Rica with Caitlin Jane Lemus Portillo. I'm assuming that's Portillo. Caitlin Jane Lemus Portillo is putting on a cool event in Costa Rica, and I signed up for it. So I'll be doing that. We got the High Level Conference coming up next year in October. It's down in Dallas. What's that hotel? What's the hotel in Dallas? Anyways, make sure you get signed up for that. Make sure you are really scoping out your 2025 and planning well to do big things right now. As always, if you have any questions, drop them in the YouTube comments or text our office. You see the number on the screen sometimes, 405-217-4752, and also subscribe on YouTube. You know what? Coffee out? Coffee's out. It's time for more coffee, sexy. Let's have a great week. Let's do some really cool things this week, okay? There we go. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. You guys have a great, great day, and we will talk to you next week. Take care.